Now that we've taken the time to introduce you to AutoCAD's interface, you need to know how to work within AutoCAD. Now, one of the most basic and essential operations in AutoCAD is actually starting a file. You can't do anything without the right drawing, of course. So there are two methods to take here. One is to start a file that is brand new. The other is to open up an existing file. So let's start with the easier of the two. Open an existing file. AutoCAD, just as you're going to find out, has several ways to start a command, the ribbon or the command line. Opening a file is no different. AutoCAD can do whatever it does, and it can do it. It seems like a million different ways to do the exact same thing. So you'll get used to that. You can go up to the application menu, left click on it, and go to the open button. Or you can go to the quick access toolbar and click on the open button. Or you can just type open on the command line and press enter. So you have a lot of options to do the exact same thing in several different ways. So I'm going to browse to my project files, and I'm going to open up a file. I'm going to open up the beam clamp drawing file. And this is just a regular file. It's actually a 3D model that I've created for a project for a client a few years ago. It's just a simple beam with a clamp apparatus that it made. And this is actually designed for a dry slip boat house where they store boats in a dry area throughout the wintertime when they're not using them in the water. They use these clamps to set the boats on these beams. This is kind of what it looks like. So that's how you open a file. So you can just type in the word open. You can go to the application menu and go to open, or you can go to the quick access toolbar and go to open. Now you can also click on the file tab here, click on the plus button. This will open up the new tab. And you can come down here on the left where it says open files. Click on the open file and it brings you to the exact same interface. So there are a lot of ways you can see here to open up an existing file. Now, if you need to make a new file or start a brand new file, new project or anything like that, don't worry. That's really just as easy. Only this time you have a few choices to make. When you turn AutoCAD on, a lot of times it'll either start in a blank template file like this, or it'll start on your new tab button. Either one of those are fine. And you can get to everything you need from either direction. So if it starts like this, the drawing, you can just save the file and you're good to go. But a lot of times I recommend that you don't do that. I recommend you start with a template file or anything like that. So if you have a template file, that's great. Go to your new tab and go to the templates button right here for start drawing. If I click on the start drawing button, it'll just open up like this into our default template. But if you click on the buttons bar underneath it, it'll give you a list of different template files that you may have. Click on the AutoCAD.dwt for right now. There's an example, and there's a new file. Just save it, and you can get to work. So if you have a template file that you want to use, and AutoCAD does come with several of their own, then you can choose one of those instead of the ones that come with AutoCAD. That's perfectly fine. So you can also get to that from the quick access toolbar up here. You can click on the new button icon. It's right here on the left. Again, you can also go to the application menu, go to new, and just click on the drawing option. You can use the new tab as we discussed earlier, or you can type in the word new. So that's about 4 or 5 different ways to start a brand new file. And again, you get your options of different template files. Pick the one you want, click open. Now, template files have a different format than regular AutoCAD files. You can tell them apart by their file extension. Now, regular AutoCAD files end in a .dwg file type. Template files are similar, but they're a little bit different. They end in .dwt for drawing template files. In all honesty, you could use a regular DWG file as a template if you wanted to. Just open it up as you would in any existing file and then start working. Now, the danger with doing that, though, is when you save the file. Because when you open up the file, any changes that you make to it and you save them will override that old file. So be careful with that. If you save any of those files, a template file, AutoCAD will ask you what and where you want to save the file to. So I did that process here with the new for drawing 5, it says here. So if I type in the word save, AutoCAD asks me, hey, what do you want to call this file and where do you want it to go? However, if I open up an existing file like this beam clamp and I click save, it's going to tell me, hey, you're going to save it here and you could overwrite it. But this will give you a chance to change the file name, save it something different. That's good. But if I click up here on the quick access toolbar, it saves right over the top of my file. I've just replaced my old file. So you have to be careful with that. So keep that in mind. Now, using template files to start your drawing with is one of the best CAD practices that you can ever have. That's because you can set up a template file with any settings, blocks, layers, and other items in it ahead of time. Otherwise, you're going to have to customize your drawings every time you make a new one. Now, this process, though, using the template file, ensures that all of your drawings will work properly and that you'll only have to set them up one time. Now, if you need different types of drawings, then just make different types of templates. That's okay. A template can have anything in it that you want, special notes, a title block, or any standard company sticker or logo or anything like that. Templates make you work faster by doing your work for you ahead of time. And remember, and I'm going to say it over and over again throughout this video, that the less you have to do, the quicker you can get done. And that's why we use CAD.